It's Tackle Tip Thursdays, and today we're going to be talking everything grunter. The stuff that you'll need to be making the traces and why we use these stuff. Okay, so to start off, you would need a pair of scissors. You would need fluorocarbon, ideally 10 to 15 pound. We use the LB and the Maxima range. I prefer the LB. It's very soft, supple, and it's very easy to manipulate back into its original form. We're going to be using tungsten weights. I prefer tungsten weights, and the reason being is firstly the shape, the weight of it versus the size compared to your standard ball and egg sinkers or weights. And yeah, they're a bit pricey, but trust me, well worth the buck. Okay, and hooks. We're going to be using circle hooks. The hooks that I use personally are the Eagle Claws range, the size 1 or 2, or the Hayabusa's range as well. And the reason why we use these hooks is you'll notice they don't have a full round bend on the shape of the hook. So it's got a slight point which actually helps the cracker to sit straight. They're very sharp, very thin, and for the gauge or thickness, they're quite strong and sufficient. And last, you would need gummy stoppers. So look, the color doesn't really matter. I use the Lynx range. They're very, very well priced. They get the job done. Okay, to start off, you would get your fluorocarbon, about a meter or so of your fluorocarbon. You take your circle hook. There's many ways of tying a snell knot. We've covered this previously in our videos. You're most welcome to go through our YouTube video on the snell knot. I'm just going to push your tag end through the front. Take your tag end through about 10-15 centimeters. Push it back through the eye of the hook. Take that tag end and place it flush against the shank of the hook. It's not too easy to see on the camera, but you should have a circle with the tag end flush against the hook. You're going to take the loop and go 5 times over the hook. This is a locking snell. I prefer this over the other snell. And okay, once done, you're going to grab both the ends of the loop and you're going to pull your other end of your line. Okay, once that's done, the knot's done. Neat, small, compact, and ideal. You're going to cut your tag in. Okay, your first part is done. It's as simple as that. You're going to take a gummy stopper, and how the gummy stopper actually works is, this is actually going to be replacing your swivel. There's a small loop on each end. You're going to take your line and push it through that loop like that, and you're going to pull the bead. And once a bead goes into the line, you can actually maneuver it through the entire length of your rig. You're then going to take your tungsten weight. I prefer black. My personal preference, I feel that it generally looks like a small stone in the sand or in the mud where the crackers live and where we fish. The shape is ideal as well. You're going to push your tag end through. Make sure that your tapered end faces your rod tip. Okay, you're going to push that through, and that's your trace in a nutshell. Preferably, I prefer that the weight is about 40 centimeters away from your hook. And what this actually does is, the gummy stopper enables one to move or maneuver the weight distance away from the hook depending on the depth that you're fishing in. So you can actually alter that without cutting and joining, and obviously the more knots, the more chances of break-offs, especially when you're fishing ultralight. And yeah, that's it. I prefer fishing this rig with my bail arm open or using a bait feeder, a very light reel like the Okoma Sima, with a very smooth drag to prevent hook pulls. The reason why I like my bail arm to be open, no resistance when the shy feeders feed. And yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And that's the rig that we actually use. Just going to bring that down. So that's that. Cheers, guys. And we will definitely keep you posted. We're going to be targeting these grunters in the weeks to come at Durban Harbour.